Hey guys, it's me Paco, and welcome back to Bad Witch Books. Today we're going to be going over my top 10 favorite book series as of 2020. I plan to do more videos in a series called, of course, Top 10. I want to do top 10 movies, top 10 TV shows, top 10 fictional characters, so expect those coming soon. So, let's get started. I do have a rules set up for this list. So the first is that they have to be books I've read at least more than one book in the series. So if it's a trilogy, I have to have at least read two. But I do have two honorable mentions. They are books that I've read the first book in the series, and I could see myself loving the series so much, and I just also want to talk about them because I love them so much. So the first book is a book in my honorable mentions is a book I just finished reading this weekend, and it is A Song of Wraith and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown. This is about a princess named I should know her name. Karina, and a boy named Malik. Karina's mother, the queen or the sultana, gets assassinated, and she needs the heart of a king to get him back. So she makes a proclamation during the games they have that Malik enters, that whoever marries her gets the heart. And Malik, his sister, gets kidnapped by spirits or something, and he needs to kill the princess. So they both want to kill each other for different reasons, but they don't know each other. And then when they meet, they start to fall for each other. It's really good. I love the world that Roseanne created, and I love Malik as a character, and Karina, I like her as well. And so I just really enjoy the series. Okay, so next honorable mention is going to be, of course, if you know me, Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. This is about Lou and Reed, a witch and witch hunter, who are forced to get married because of a marriage of circumstance, or I believe it's called, or something like that. But they are forced to get married. It's just, I really like it. I love the world. I love the magic. I love Lou as a character. And Reed's good too. It's just really good. I love witches, and this is all really witchy book. So let's get started to our actual list. Top 10 books series. So the first book series for number 10, our list 10, is going to be the Brooklyn Bruja series by Zardovia Cordova. The first book, Labyrinth Lost. The second book is not Brooklyn Bruja, that is series Paco. The second book is A Bruja Born. And the third book, Wayward Witch. Wayward Witch comes out in the fall, September 1st, I believe. I am currently reading Bruja Born, and I've loved Labyrinth Lost, and I'm loving Bruja Born, the second book in the series. But this is a series about three sisters. They are Brujas, so Latinx witches. I'm really enjoying it. I love it. I love the world. I love the culture. My culture being Latinx, myself a Mexican American. I don't think they are Mexican. I'm not exactly sure what they are exactly. I know they're like a mix. It's a mix of cultures and stuff like that. But I really love the series. The magic is great. But yeah, I really love it. I could say a lot. And I do plan on doing a review for this trilogy once Wayward Witch comes out. Next is going to be A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemar. The first book, A Curse So Dark and Lonely. The second book, A Heart So Fierce and Broken. The third book, A Vow So Bold and Deadly. The third book comes out January next year. I like this trilogy a lot. I love it. The first book is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It is about Harper. She has cerebral palsy, and she gets taken to against her will, to this magical kingdom of Emberfall, where she ends up having to help the prince and the captain of the guard, Gray, save the kingdom, basically, because Gray is under a curse that unless he can get a girl to fall in love with him, he gets turned into a monster. I really like this series. I love Harper as the main character, that she doesn't take any bullshit from Ren, our main male character. I like Ren a lot, but I love Gray as well, the captain of the guard. And I think our villain for the series, the Enchantress Lilith, is really interesting. So the next book series we have, which is number 8, I know how to count, is in the Imperium trilogy by Claire Legrand. Claire Legrand, I said the name right. This is about Riel and Ilana. They are two girls that are, one is 1,000 years apart from each other, basically. one is going to be the Blood Queen and one is the Sun Queen. They just don't know which one's which. And they both have like awesome elemental magic. The villains of this series are angels, but they're not like typical like celestial angels. They're like telepathic psychic angels, and it's really interesting. But I love the magic system of this world. Like I said, it's elemental magic. I love elemental magic, and this is interesting. I really love Riel in the first book, Furyborn, but I love Elena in the second book, Kingsbane, and I love like our male love interest. Not Simon, it's not my favorite, but Audric. I love Audric as well. But yeah, the series is really good. I suggest it if you like fantasy. It's really good, and I said it reads more adult than young adult, like on the like older range of a young adult. So I really like this series. So next is an outlier from this. I really love fantasy, young adult, specifically. How many times can I say that? But this is an adult romance, and it is the Brown Sisters series by Talia Hibbert. The first book, Get a Life, Chloe Brown. The second book is Take a Hint, Dani Brown. The first book is about Dani Brown. She has, I believe it's fibromyalgia. I'm not exactly sure. I know it's a chronic illness for sure. But, so she doesn't, like, get out much. She doesn't do much because she has this, like, she doesn't want to be a pain to other people in her head. Like, it's just something she's doesn't want. But, from, like, past people being really extremely rude and just rude. But she ends up almost getting hit by a car and realizes she hasn't done much with her life. And so she makes a list. And then she gets her current super at her new apartment building, Redford, to help her out. I love this romance, and I also love Take a Hint, Dani Brown, which is about her sister, Dani, who is a bisexual plus-size witch. But Dani is very, like, no-nonsense. She doesn't really believe in, like, relationships. And so she just wants, like, a friends with benefits situation. But she ends up, like, getting in a situation where Zaf, I think is also his nickname, ends up saving her, basically. And it gets on Twitter, or, like, the public finds out about it, and they start shipping them as a couple. And it helps Zahir's, or Zaf, I think is his name. I'm bad with names. Zaf, it helps his, like, fundraiser thing he's set up, and so they start fake dating, and it's just really good, really steamy romance series. I'd suggest people to check it out if they haven't already. I know a lot of people is getting a lot of hype, but it's worth it. It's really good. So the next book series we've got, I just finished The Damned, the second book in the series, and loved it. Like this, it is automatically reached to be number 6 on this list. So that, of course, is The Beautiful and The Damned by Renee Ahdieh. I know there is some more planned, but I do not know what the next book is. The Damned just came out at the beginning of the month. This is about, it takes place in 1872 in New Orleans, but it is about Celine and Bastien Saint Germain, and they're involved in the, like, New Orleans magical underworld. So good. I love The Damned. Bastien has made probably, like, my top male character list now, thanks to The Damned. I love Celine as well. Celine is an amazing character. I just love it. I need to know more. I love this so much. I could honestly see this series, like, just being a top, like, getting to the higher point of this list. But it's only at the bottom because, like, at the side of the list, because only 2 books are out so far. But I love this so much. I love Celine. I love her. Like, she won't take shit from nobody, even in an era where she's supposed to take shit from people just because she's a woman in the era she's in. But I loved Bastien, especially in the last book. Like, if anybody's read The Damned, message me and loved it. Message me so I could gush about it with people. I don't know anybody who's, like, finished it yet, but it was so good. I'd recommend reading it. I know a lot of people were giving The Beautiful stuff because the vampires weren't there. The Damned has way more vampires. It's amazing. Just go read it. I can't talk more enough about the series. I loved it. So the next series, and this is the last in our books I haven't read every book in, and it is The Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. The first book, Truth Witch. The second book is Wind Witch. There is a novella, Sight Witch. And the third book, Blood Witch. I know that next February we're supposed to be getting Witch Shadow. which I think it's the second to the last book in the series. I'm not positive. This is an amazing, like, epic high fantasy series that is just amazing. Like, the books are about these two girl witches. They are thread sisters, so best friends. But more than that, they're just like, they have this really strong connection. One is a truth witch, so she has the magic to tell when people are lying to her. And one is a thread witch, so she can see the fates, and not the fates, but like just the connections people have, and emotions. She can also see emotions, but everybody wants the truth witch because like she's going to be a really powerful ally in court, in royalty and stuff like that. But it's just really good, and then they get tracked by this blood witch, and Aedwin, the blood witch, is just like, he's also probably with Bastian in like my top 5 favorite male characters of all time. I love Aedwin. I love the romance for Aedwin. I don't want to spoil it, but I also love our main characters, Iseult and Safi. Safi is extremely just sassy, and she's always got the best insults. And I loved Iseult as well. She's kind of quiet and reserved, but I still love Iseult, and I'm so excited for the next book. I love a lot of characters. So I love Vasta and the other princess. I forget her name at the moment. It's been a minute since I read the series, but I'm so excited for Witch Shadow. This series, like I said, if you love epic fantasy, I'd really suggest this series out. It's really good, so good. Okay, so the next 4 books, I think I know how to count, is going to be books. I've read every book in the series for these books, and I love them, and I will not shut up about these books. You guys probably already know it. Some of those books I keep bringing up, like I keep bringing up The Beautiful and stuff like that, but these books I'm always going to be bringing up. So, number 4 is the Shadow of the Fox series. Who's surprised? I think I've like mentioned this in like 3 videos already, or more. But the Shadow of the Fox series is about Yumeko, who is a kitsune. And can I remember it without looking? Tatsumi. I remembered it. I got a gold sticker and a cookie. Tatsumi, he is a demon monster hunter for the Shadow Clan. But their paths cross because Yumeko has a piece of the Dragon Scroll, which is a thing that every 1,000 years, if you say everything on this scroll, the dragon Kami will show up and grant a wish. And usually that wish changes the fate of everything. But Tatsumi is sent to retrieve the scroll that Yumeko has, and their paths collide. It is so good. If you like anime, I suggest checking this out. The fight scenes are amazing. It's got all the like anime tropes, like they randomly come across a character, and then that character joins the party, especially for the first book. I know it's an unpopular opinion for most people who read this book. I think my favorite book is the second book, Soul of the Sword. Not that I didn't love Shadow of the Fox and Night of the Dragon, but some of my favorite scenes are in this series. It is so good. Like, I need more people to read it. I only know a couple. I've only seen a couple of like YouTubers, booktubers talk about this series. But this series is so good. Julie Kakawa, she ruined me with the last book. I'm heartbroken, still crying about it on the inside. Still crying about it. Okay, so the next we got our top 3. So number 3 is the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. This is the first, like, when I had taken a break from reading and then I got back into reading, the first like big YA series I read before I got back into reading YA was Lunar Chronicles. And I love the Lunar Chronicles. I love Marissa Meyer as a writer. I like her Renegade series, but I think the Lunar Chronicles just holds a special place in my heart. My favorite book in the series is probably Crest. Winter might be like right there, but I think I love Crest a little bit more. These are fairy tales that take place with a sci-fi aspect. Our first book is Cinder, and it is about Cinder. I forget her last name, but she is a mechanic, and she is a cyborg. So she has like a robot leg and like a computer in her head almost. But it's really great. It's fairy tales retellings. I know we get like Rapunzel's in a satellite. Scarlet, I forget what makes her sci-fi, but Winter, our Snow White characters, a Princess on the Moon. It's really good. It's epic sci-fi series. It's just amazing. I check it out. If you're a fairy tale fan, check it out. It's great. Our number 2 book series of all time is going to be, I combine these series so much because they're so connected that I just see this as one giant big series, but it is of course the Percy Jackson Hero of Olympus series. I love this series. The book I have up is my favorite in all of them, which is House of Hades by Rick Riordan. This book series is so good. It is about Percy Jackson. He discovers that he is a demigod, so his father is an Olympian god, and he has to just like start fighting monsters and stuff after he goes to Camp Half-Blood, a school for not a school, a camp for demigods. This series is so good. I know that in the Hero of Olympus series we get Roman demigods as well. I think my favorite characters in this series, oh, I have so many. I love Raina. I named my dog after her. I love Hazel. I love Leo. I just love everybody. I love this series so much, especially this book. This is my favorite book in the series. Just read it. So good. So good. So number one. My number one series of all time. I don't know if you guys get that reference. I hope you do. But number one is Throne of Glass. No surprise if you know me. I love Throne of Glass. I mean, I even have a Selena Elaine plushie. But I love Throne of Glass, and I think this is my favorite book in the series, The Queen of Shadows, and this is the fake crate covers. Look at Manon, just the queen. I love Throne of Glass. If you don't know what Throne of Glass is about, it is the first book in the series is about Selena Sardothian. She is an assassin that has been in prison for a year, but she gets taken out of the prison by the prince. And he's like, my dad's throwing this competition to like find the kingdom's next assassin. All his royals get to choose an assassin for this competition. I choose you. And she just goes into it, and then she gets involved in politics. And then the series just gets bigger and better with each book. I love it. Especially my favorite character is Manon. She's a witch. She rides a wyvern. I know a lot of people don't like Sarah J. Maas, and I get she does have some like issues, like she needs more diverse characters, but she's getting better if you haven't read her books. I still love it. I'm Sarah J. Maas trash. I love A Court of Thorns and Roses books as well, and Crescent City, but I think if I had to like all of her series, like just a series all together, Throne of Glass is my favorite. It's just amazing. It's got so many great moments. It's got like moments that make me cry that I don't want to get too much into, but like, dude, I'm still not over Kingdom of Ash. I don't know how some of us are. But yeah, no, I love Throne of Glass. I love all these books. Like, all these books are great. I love all these characters. They are so amazing. Read them if you haven't. It's just so good. So that was my top 10 favorite book series of all time. Comment down your guys' top 10 favorite book series of all time, or if you guys like these book series, what you like about them, so I could gush about it in the comments with you guys. Subscribe to see more of moi. I make new videos every Friday and Monday. I am on Instagram at Badwitch Books. I'm on Twitter at Badwitch Reads. So come on, check me out. Check it out. Like it if you haven't liked the video. And like I said, subscribe to see more of moi. I will see you guys later. Enjoy your day and stay wicked.